Have you ever said yes when every fiber of your being was screaming no? hmm You felt the weight in your chest, that knot in the pit of your stomach, but the thought of disappointing someone else felt heavier than disappointing yourself. Hmm. You're not alone, my dear. I have had this feeling. Today, we're gonna get into how to set boundaries without feeling guilty. No more guilt, y'all. No more guilt. I cannot hold this microphone the entire time. So, listen. I wanted to make this video because I know that setting boundaries, it's not always an easy thing to do for some of us. I've had some difficulties myself in the past with setting boundaries. So I wanted to make this so it can be a little easier for us to digest, right? And it's not too difficult. Some people might tell you that setting boundaries is selfish. Then people are probably narcissists or something like that, and they're getting something out of you not setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's necessary for your peace, your growth, and your happiness. Here's the catch though. Sometimes guilt will sneak up on you and then acts as an uninvited guest. We don't want uninvited guests. So we need to learn how to set boundaries and not feel guilty about it. I want y'all to keep rocking with me on this one because not only will you learn how to set boundaries, but by the end of the video, you'll feel empowered to do it without the guilt. And trust me, once you master this skill, it'll change your relationships and your life forever. At least it's doing that for me, and I hope that it'll do the same for you. Now, before we dive in like all the way deep, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is actually something I created just for y'all. It's my brand new ebook, and it's called Setting Boundaries and Thriving. It's your guide to healthy relationships and personal growth. The ultimate roadmap to building stronger, healthier relationships without the guilt. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed, drained, or like you're always giving more than you're receiving, this guide is packed with actionable tips, real life examples, and exercises that will help you reclaim your time, energy, and your confidence. That is exactly how I designed it just for you. It's time to prioritize you. The link is going to be in the description below. Go grab your copy and start thriving today. So listen, let's imagine a life where you can say no without the anxiety, without over explaining, and without that gnawing guilt you get in the pit of your stomach. A life where your needs are respected and your energy is protected. Sounds impossible, I know, but it really isn't. By the end of this video, I'll share the one mindset shift that helped me break free from people pleasing, and you cannot miss that. So let's talk about guilt. Why does it show up when we try to set boundaries? Guilt is like that overprotector friend who thinks that they doing something. They ain't doing nothing. They're trying to keep you safe, right? That's what they think they're doing. It stems from fear. Fear of being judged, losing relationships, or being seen as selfish. And if you're an empath, such as myself, a people pleaser, or someone who's used to putting others first, this guilt can be quite overwhelming. But here's the very emotional truth. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're betraying yourself. You're telling yourself that your needs don't matter. And we know that they do. That time, your energy, your peace, they are non-negotiable. But what if I told you that the guilt the guilt that you are feeling is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're growing, that you're stepping into a new, healthier version of yourself. And growth is uncomfortable at first, but it's worth it. And you cannot have success without growth. That's just the way life works. So let's go ahead and get into these steps. Step number 1. Redefine what boundaries mean. First, let's flip the script a little bit. Boundaries aren't walls that push people away. They're bridges that create healthier connections. You're not shutting people out by creating boundaries. You're inviting them to respect you on a deeper level. Number 2, identify your non-negotiables. Ask yourself, what drains me? What energizes me, right? Get clear on what you can and can't tolerate. Is it answering emails after hours? Always being the one to solve everybody's problems? And once you know your non-negotiables, it becomes easier to communicate them to other people. Step 3, start small. You don't have to get all into it on the deep end. Practice setting boundaries in low stakes situations. Like, for example, saying, I can't chat right now, but let's catch up tomorrow. Like something small like that. Those small wins, they build your confidence. Step 4, use the power of saying no without explaining. No is a complete sentence, okay? You don't owe anybody any lengthy ass explanation or justifications for what you're saying. The more you practice this, the more natural it feels. Trust me, I'm a master at it. Now I can say no without no problem. Step 5, sit with the discomfort that you're feeling. Here's the hard part, okay? Guilt might still creep in initially, but instead of running from it, sit with it, acknowledge it, and remind yourself that you're not doing anything wrong. This discomfort is temporary. It too shall pass. But the peace that comes after it, it's lasting. Step 6, reinforce self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you talk to a friend. You are your own best friend. Would you call your best friend selfish for prioritizing their well-being? No. You cheer them on, right? So cheer yourself on. You deserve that same kindness you give to other people. Now, I did promise to share that one mindset shift that changed everything for me, right? All right. Like to hear it? Here you go. So, saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. Every time you set a boundary, you are choosing you. And you deserve to choose yourself without the guilt, without apology. Simple as that. So the next time guilt tries to creep in, remember this. Boundaries are acts of self-love. They don't make you selfish, they make you whole. And here's the beautiful part. When you honor your own boundaries, you teach others to respect you too. It's a ripple effect that transforms your relationships, your confidence, and ultimately your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more tips on setting boundaries and thriving, and share this with someone who needs a little reminder that it's okay to put themselves first. Love y'all.